Hello. Did you think I forgot about the moon? No, never. It's been such a crazy day, crazy week. How's everybody's week going? Mine's been kind of um, but you know what? That's why I wanted to not about coming live because that's what new moons are for, is just wiping the slate clean and all over with a new plan, a new beginning, a new seed, a new life. So, yep. Let's do that. Let's just start clean. I haven't smudged today at all, and I feel like do extra because that I was just opening the window. That is how my week has been going, and oh, am I actually? Oh, I was shooting for 5:45 and it's only 5:43. Look at that. I was a little early. Oh man. I've decided to just quit for the day and um, got my candles lit, and I think I'm going to try to bake cookies later. And even though I don't have baking powder, I'm going to attempt to do that. Anyways, I think there's something I can substitute because I'm just going to focus on uh, being happy right now and staying joyful. And because on the new moon, you want to set intentions and you want them to be positive. You don't want to be sitting here thinking like, "Oh, I've had a shitty week." And you don't want to just like create that negative energy. You want the new moon to be positive. So thing even if you are having a shitty week like I am, I think everybody's having a shitty time. Oh, even though things are supposed to be getting back to normal. Um, but yeah, be grateful for today. Be grateful for a new moon and a clean slate and for the best. um, Tonight's new moon is in Gemini, and that's all about the Gemini are the twins. So it's like about duality and uh, alter ego. I like to use mirrors on the new moon, anyways, but that it also has that duality aspect to it, and I like putting stones on them or crystals because it's almost like magnifying or doubling that energy. So, oh yeah, I'm gonna light a yellow candle because yellow feels very joyful and playful to me, and that's also what Gemini is about. Um, they're usually very, very entertaining and charismatic, and sometimes it's like that's the secret side to them is like maybe it's like a coworker and you go out for drinks after work one day and they end up just telling these really funny stories and you had no idea that they were like that. They had that side to them, like the class clown. So that's what I'm going to focus on for my new moon intentions, is just looking at the good, trying to stay as positive as possible, and do something that just sparks joy. I'm going to try to make cookies. Try. Hopefully that'll make me happy. Um, I might like color later or take a bath. New moons are a great time to take a bath because, especially like a salt bath, it's like cleansing and renewing, rejuvenating, um, so that you're just starting fresh and new tomorrow. And I just got these new. Oh, I should have showed you before I lit it. I got a new wick. They're made of hemp and they're a little bit narrower and they don't have that like classic candle look, but I really like them and I think they burn a little bit slower. So I think I'm gonna switch to the hemp wick for at least this size candle, the chimes candle, because I need to go all around. That's how my day's been going. So yeah, smudging, cleaning your house is a good new moon. Um, New moon task, cleaning your house, like deep cleaning, smudging, clearing all that negative energy out. Breath. Do some meditation today. The new moon is when the moon is the darkest, so it's also about like introspection, going within, figuring out what it is that you want to plan to do, what you like, what is really going to be driving you for the next month. Um, and again, if you want to focus on the Gemini aspect, Geminis are sociable, they have excessive energy, they're expressive. Communication is to deal with on the new moon in Gemini. And I think I actually am feeling a little bit better because I got some things off my chest earlier today. I got some letters written to the massage board, expressing my displeasure with their lack of support during the pandemic. And I don't agree with the governor's executive order that we should be reopening, um, because I care about the safety of my family, myself, and my clients. Um, and I just don't feel like the state board has supported us ever. I mean, I've been trying to get them to um, change the city law so that I can practice out of my house, which if they would do anything about that, I'd be able to create a sanitary space in my house to ensure my client's safety, to ensure my safety, which I agree with because it's not safe. And I might have a space that I can work at, but I've just had a lot of letters going out today and communication, and that is a very Gemini thing. And I honestly feel better. For the last few days, I haven't been able to sleep. I haven't been eating. My stomach's been upset. Uh, I've been a wreck, and now I feel better. I actually have energy. I've been feeling depressed and bogged down, but now it's like I feel like I can breathe because I've gotten all of that off of my chest, and that is Gemini Moon. um, they're also very adaptable. Like they can kind of go with the flow in any situation, and putting people at ease, that kind of thing. Um, and if you're interested in the astrology surrounding um, the moon and stuff, I think in the last video I was talking about recognizing the moon phases every day and how you feel emotionally, and seeing if there's any correlation. And by doing that, you can get a birth chart if you have your birthplace, birth time, like the exact time, like down to the hour and the minute, and go to astro.com and type in your birthday and time and location, and take a look at your birth chart. It's really interesting. I was looking at my chart earlier to see where Gemini falls, and like most people know their sun sign or their moon sign or their rising sign. But then there's like different houses, there's all different aspects. And my Gemini is in my fourth house. But yeah, just go pull your chart up and then just look at it'll have a list of like all the different astrological signs at the time of your birth, and just look for Gemini and see where that falls. And then, I mean, we're so lucky to have Google now. Just Google Gemini in Mercury or Gemini Venus, or like mine's in which is the healing, the healer, like in Greek mythology, the healer. And there's all sorts of information out there, and it's really interesting because I just find it to be really accurate. And my Gemini is in the fourth house, which has to deal with family and stability and foundation. So I'm going to try to correlate my new moon intentions around that. So, like, say your Gemini was in Venus. Venus is the planet of love and relationships. And so you might want, because it's in the house of family, roots, foundation, self care. My intentions for this month are going to be surrounding self care and routine and stability and structure, because I can't really focus on my career right now. I mean, I am, but I mean, I'm just gonna take what I can do, take small little things, and like just work on that. Work on the aspects of the things in my life that I can control, and self care, and getting a routine, an exercise routine, a water routine. Like I've been talking about that so much in these videos. I am still not drinking water while I'm at home. I don't know why. It's crazy. So this is like my first glass of water, or like the first time I've refilled this up today, because it took me so long to, I'm just not drinking enough water. It's driving me crazy because I have always been about drinking water. I had a kidney infection when I was very young, and it was very traumatizing and painful. So from like, I think I was like 16, so for the past 20 years, I've always been so good about drinking water. And ever since the pandemic, I'm just not drinking water. And it's like, that's when it's important to do. So I'm going to set my moon intentions to self-care, specifically drinking water, committing to a workout routine, and also a meditation routine. So one thing that I like to do with setting intentions is picking 3 different things, like mind, body, and spirit. So physically, I'm going to be focusing on water and an exercise routine. Mentally, I want to focus on meditation. And then I haven't really thought about mentally, like I definitely need to like do something to not stress myself out, because I've been so stressed out lately. So just maybe once a day, have at least one thing that brings me joy, which is another Gemini thing. Like joy, expressive joy, maybe journaling or something. So that I always set a new moon intention, always, always, always. And then when the full moon comes around, it's really raining out there. I love rainy days too, but we're focusing on yellow and joy. But rain does bring me joy. So there. I'm still focusing on most of most of the reason why I like the rain so much is because I'm usually like a little bit cloudy. So I like when the environment reflects how I'm feeling. Now that I'm talking, maybe that's why, because I haven't been talking that much, so that's why I'm not drinking water. But now just talking on this, like feeling really thirsty. I don't know, whatever. Who knows what's going on with me? So next month I'm also gonna be I'm gonna be focusing on candles, and because keeping my hands busy. It's keeping me a little bit sane, focusing on making candles for my Etsy shop. So I'm gonna come out with some moon candles that hopefully people will be interested in purchasing. Lighting a candle is one of those. So that's what I'm that's what's keeping me going, keeping me busy, keeping me sane, keeping my hands busy. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna make some new moon candles, and I'll probably the first one will probably be the full moon for 2 weeks from now. The full moon in Sagittarius. Um, but so June and July we get a double Cancer moon, which means there is a new moon in Cancer in June, and there's also a new moon in Cancer. And if you set an intention in June for the new moon in Cancer, um, and then you actually don't stick to it or stick with it, I thought I would be back to work by now. So I thought I would have a little more income to get supplies. So I'm a little bit short on wax supplies again. And I want to do like a big order next time so that I don't keep running out of wax. um, but it's hard and it's scary to place really big purchase orders. Ooh, let's light some Palo Santo. And then you want to bring some sweetness in. So Palo Santo is a way to do that. It's a lot sweeter and it brings in positive energy. So like the sage is just like clearing everything out, and then you want to bring in the positive energy. And Palo Santo is one of those. Some people use sweetgrass, or you can. I also sometimes, especially like in the times where it's raining and you don't want your window open, or it's cold or it's too hot and you don't want your window open. So I'll diffuse oils in a diffuser. So that's another way to bring sweetness in. And I love Palo Santo. So definitely check out. I'll put a link for Sage Goddess's new moon ritual. That'll be tonight, and it's going to be very sweet because she's focusing on butterflies and honeysuckle and jasmine. So if you don't have the things that she uses in the ritual, it usually doesn't matter. First of all, they usually sell out, but I've never felt like I was without. I just find things throughout my house. I look up what she's going to be focusing on for that specific ritual, and then I just find the closest thing that I have. And that, I mean, I'm just going to find a picture of a butterfly to focus on, and I have some jasmine essential oil. I don't have any honeysuckle. I should have, I guess if it wasn't raining, I would have walked around the neighborhood and seen if I could find some honeysuckle, because that would be fun to bring into the house. But if you don't have the tools, it doesn't matter. I just really enjoy taking the time. It's usually about an hour, and just really focusing on setting your intentions. She does a little bit of meditation and opens a circle. And so usually I don't have energy around the new moon and the full moon, but usually around the new moon, I'm like no energy at all. So I'm going to take advantage of this time. I don't know. I got my second wind after I got those emails out. I was like, okay, I'm ready to go. So Gemini stones are, where did I? Citrine. So that's that like yellow, joyful color. We've been talking about citrine like all month. May is the month of prosperity, and citrine is the prosperity stone. So if you have any citrine, get those out. I have cool spheres that came in my crystal class. Citrine spheres. spheres are good for projecting energy outwards, so they're nice to use in the center of a grid, but they're also cool to put like in four corners. So do you have any citrine? That's a Gemini stone. Tiger's eye is another one. Agate, moonstone. I thought I had some moonstone, but I'm not really sure if it kind of it's clear white, slightly. It's not a sheet when you turn it in the light, kind of like labradorite, but like a clear version. And I'm not sure if it's actually moonstone, so I didn't have that to show you. When I was researching Gemini stones, calcite came up, and there's a bunch of different colors of calcite. The only one I have is orange, which is a sacral chakra stone. It's also a sphere. So, man, my new moon ceremony is going to be all about spheres tonight, I guess. Um, they're slightly translucent, but more opaque, and they have like some white in them. Like you can see like the white lines. So, man, I'm going to be using spheres tonight, I guess. And what did I say? I get opal. Oh, opal. Oh man, do I have any of my grandmother loved opal, and I used to have some of her jewelry, and I had this beautiful opal ring. Is it in her teacup? No. Shoot, I meant before I started the video. I'm not sure where it is because I was wearing it in the beginning of the pandemic because my grandmother kept coming up for me a lot. Apparently, she's still coming up for me again. But opal, because you know how it has that like translucent, like rainbowy, that kind of symbolizes the like duality aspect because it's like it looks white when you look at it, but then you turn it and it's like all these different rainbow colors. Opalescent. Um, oh, and Gemini is an air sign, so incense would be a good thing to be burning tonight, and just focusing and thinking. The air is about knowledge and wisdom, and I mean, just think of like a nice warm summer breeze, like blowing all your cares away. Think of air signs. Um, I thought my cat was coming to say hi. Hey, what you doing? Waiting for dinner. Well, I thought maybe because it was a different time that people would show up, but I was like last minute. I meant to post earlier that I was planning on doing this tonight. I thought I was going to be able to do it in the afternoon, so I really wasn't sure. I think what I should do is just start planning that, like setting a time and then working my schedule around that. I thought that I would be working. Oh well. So I have a secret. I bought a new Oracle deck. Technically, I bought it like a month ago, but it finally came. It is called the Chakra Healing Deck. Do I have the cover? Oh, there it is. And it's the companion deck to the book that I was reading about the chakras called The Ultimate Guide to the Chakras, and it's by Sage Goddess, Dr. Tina Parakis. And I really like it so far. I love the way the deck feels. Look, it's got these like silver sheen on the side. It's a lot thinner. The cardstock is a lot thinner than most. I really like it because it shuffles really well. Like some of them, I know it's nice to have like thick cardstock, but um, so, um, so let's pick a card for the new moon in Gemini. Oh man, let's wipe this into our light into this next month. And that's see, one of the reasons why I love uh, celebrating the new moons, focusing on the new moons, is because it takes the pressure off of it reduces my anxiety. Like I'm like, okay, we'll just focus on this 1 month, or let's just focus on these 2 weeks until the full moon. And then it just breaks things down into cycles, and it makes me feel more comfortable and not as anxious. I'm like, okay, let's set the intention, like set a goal for these 2 weeks, and I can get through. And then in 2 weeks, we'll reassess and figure out what to do from there. And then in 2 weeks, we'll reassess and figure out, or we'll in 2 weeks we'll start over again. It just, I don't know, it just makes me feel. And again, it gives you something to celebrate. Like, yay, I'm gonna stay up late and light my candles and light some incense and hang out with my teacher online and meditate, and maybe I'll get some insight or get a plan going. All right, I think it's going to restrict you no longer. Know that the expression of your highest truth is protected and supported by spirit. Speak your authentic wisdom with conviction and courage. Rest assured, doing so will bring you to where you are meant to be. Share your truths from a place of loving, so your words land with the intention you use to compose them. And that's another reason I like this deck, because you could just like take it with you. It has the description right on the card there. And so, like I said, this is the throat chakra. The crystal is light, which I do not know of. Don't even know what it looks like. The herb is chamomile. So that's cool to like be able to research a new stone. Always love doing that. And then it does come with a little companion book to with a little bit more in-depth information. Let's see, they are numbered to number 32. She's really into numerology, so she likes the keywords for this is communication, wisdom, and openness. Chakra is your throat. The throat chakra is your center of communication and truth. It is from this energetic center that you connect with your highest wisdom and express it with clarity, conviction, compassion, courage, and ease. Activate your fear of judgment or doubt. Anything that keeps you from expressing your truth freely, authentically, and fearlessly. Oh, anything that keeps you from expressing. Oh. Sorry, I'm reading this wrong. Okay, release fear of judgment or doubt, or anything that keeps you from expressing yourself freely, authentically, and fearlessly. Attune to the wisdom that your freedom of expression is supported by the universe. Engaging in honest, loving communication will lead you where you are ultimately meant to be. Your inner truth and wisdom are beautiful offerings meant to be shared with the world right now. Your words hold true power to change the world and bring light to those who inhabit it. Know this to be true and encourage others to release the same about themselves. When you live deeply into your truth, you will, by example, inspire others to follow you. Try to see all living beings as sovereign and worthy of respect, just as they are. By seeing them as this way, you will naturally create space, open expression, and exchange of ideas between you. And then it has some journal questions, which I really love, because especially for the new moon, I love just journaling on the new moon and getting everything out there. And so it's, do you express yourself from a place of freedom, love, and compassion? Do you feel connected with the divine truth of your spirit longs to share with the world? In what way truth be a beacon of light and hope for others? What lingering fears or doubts about the past are holding you back today? So this is a really interesting card to pick, because I was saying how I felt better after writing all those emails and getting it off my chest and out of my system. So freedom of expression is definitely something that helped me today. And um, Yeah, I just thought this would be a perfect deck because of the journal questions. I can type them in below since obviously if anybody is going to watch, they're going to be watching it. So I'll type this down below if you get to today and you can journal about the new moon. She also has a new moon deck, but I just would be good for. Gotta slow my roll on the decks. I know. I know. All that freedom of expression has got my throat dry. Definitely have a throat chakra blockage. That was so crazy when I had a sore throat when we throat chakra. Okay, so happy new moon. I hope you get to do ceremony tonight. Light a candle for you, pray for your joy, pray for your happiness, and for watching. I hope you have a good night. Bye.